Hello and welcome to my 6th weekly creative journal. I'm Rebecca Danger and thanks for joining me again and checking out my video again this week. Today is Monday, April 27th. It is my friend Tammy's birthday and I had a good weekend. We just recorded our podcast yesterday. We hadn't recorded a podcast, my friend Tom and I, because he'd been out of town, so we had missed like a week, I guess, and so it was fun to do that again. So that'll be up this Wednesday, so before this comes out. I finished this over the weekend. This was one of the newer ones. It's the same needle trim applique on there, and then I added this little hillside, and there's these subtle little trees and stars. So I'm pretty pleased with how that one came out. Not 100% sure what these squares are going to turn into, but I have them now, so now they can become something. I've had a wonderful response to my first tutorial, and surprise, it came out Friday. So I have my scrappy improv coasters tutorial is my first YouTube tutorial. So that's up on my channel now. You're welcome to go check that one out. I think I'm going to do a potholder tutorial. I finished a couple of potholders over the weekend. It's pretty similar, but it was interesting in sewing the potholders this weekend because they're a little bit bigger, because I have a couple coasters here still. So these are 4 inches finished, and the potholder is about 8 inches finished. So technically like 4 of these. So it was interesting. The improv piecing for that was a lot different than on the smaller scale on that one. So I think it's probably worth putting out there. And then I did on that one, on the potholder, I did one finished like this, so you just sew the front and back together, and then I did one that has an actual binding on it, like a quilt binding, and that actually makes it kind of a wonderful way to play with a quilt sandwich and how to quilt on a much smaller scale. So I think that's what I'm going to work on this afternoon, and I've got a couple errands maybe to do, and I don't know, we'll see. I didn't sleep very well. One of our dogs was up Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. I think I may have mentioned that last week. So she's doing better now, but I'm feeling behind on sleep. And it's kind of a gray day this morning here, and I think it might be making me feel a little bit sleepy. So I'll take you with me, and I should at least get another potholder made. And yeah, I'll take you along, and let's go get some sewing done. morning. It is Tuesday, April 28th. It is my stepmom Connie's birthday today. Apparently I have a lot of April birthdays here because there's been a bunch in my world the last couple weeks, but I don't think there's any more April ones. But my oldest son is turning 15 on Sunday, which I'm not quite sure how that happened. So 15, that's crazy. Um, anyway, so we dropped the kids at school today because it's Tuesday. My one son has state testing instead of class, so I know we're going to get a call here soon, and hopefully I still have an hour or so. But um, I'm so pleased and delighted with how wonderful a response I've gotten to my first tutorial that my overambitious crafting disorder has kicked in. And I literally have, let's see, I'll show you here. I thought I pulled this up, but apparently not. So we have page 1, page 2, and page 3 of tutorials I already have listed out that I want to do just from, I have such a diverse background in crafting that I can do a little bit of everything. And when we moved in this house, we moved in here about 18 months ago. I think it was October of 2024. And so I know I've told you a little bit, but there's a main house and then there's a shop building in the back, on the back of the property. And that's where I am right now. And we're on about 2.5 acres, and we back on to some property that the city of Blaine bought for water rights. So that's our backyard, is like 150 acres. That's just forest, which is really cool and wonderful. Anyway, so the whole plan moving here and the last kind of couple years, because we were looking for the house about this time in 2024, so about 2 years, I was focused on doing classes here. And that was one of the things that we loved about this house, was this shop was so versatile for hosting classes or just kind of doing whatever I want. And since I've been so diverse, creatively over the years, it made a lot of sense. And that's part of why we bought it. So anyway, and moved here. That is to say that I have been dreaming and scheming of classes, obviously, with my 3 pages that I've already written out for a couple years. And with this wonderful response to the tutorial, the coasters that I was just making anyway, and I was like, what the heck, I'll record it. I'm feeling really excited to start recording more tutorials and doing more tutorials, because if somebody wants to listen to me rambling on about crafting, that feels about just like the best thing there is. So I started on some pot holders, which I will show you. So I did this one, I think Saturday. I can't remember when I did it, but you can see it's quite a bit bigger than the coasters, which is interesting. So I almost was like, well, it's too similar to the coasters to do another video. But I have to say that it had its own challenges and its own, it very much felt like a different project than the coasters. And there's like double batting in there and stuff too. So that was its own challenge. And it went a lot quicker because it's much bigger piecing than the little coaster, and blah, blah, blah. All to say, I'm going to do a tutorial for these coasters. So there's one. And there's this one, which I did a more traditional binding on. So that's how I'm going to do it in the tutorial, because I've already done the, this kind of finished edge, not binding, finishing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. And then I finished this one yesterday. So I put that one in my creative journal so you can see a fast mo of that. So I am going to work on the improv basket, which I'm going to do another tutorial on. I'm going to do another sample, or I haven't finished a full sample of that one yet with the improv. And so I'm going to work on that this morning while I wait to get the phone call to pick up the one kiddo. And then, I'll do a little sneak peek here. Guess what I pulled out last night? That would be my knitting needles. So there's definitely a knitting tutorial coming too. I'll share with you a little bit more. I don't think that one will be for a couple weeks still. So I need to work on another sample for it, but all I did was pull out the needles and yarn last night. So that's good. So yeah, I'm going to do my improv basket this morning, and then I'm going to record my pot holder tutorial this afternoon. So that feels very exciting. And let's see, is that all I have to say? There were no birds to report this morning. So, Yeah, I think that's about it. So let's go get some sewing done for some tutorials. Let's go. Hello, good morning. It is Thursday, April 30th. I completely missed yesterday, which I was thinking, well, this is week 6 of your YouTube journals. So if you have one day that you missed, like crafting and creating and documenting it, not too bad. So I did actually get a little bit of, I made a little painting setup to be able to record painting last night and did a little bit of painting work. So I didn't put it on camera. I was on my Zoom call for that. So yesterday just kind of got away from me. Got up, I did coffee with Tom, and then I came home and there was some unexpected, uh, upsetting news about a family member. And then that just kind of, between, I don't know. So I ended up taking a nap and being grumpy and not recording the day. So I'm here now. It's a glorious morning. That sun is just streaming in. I finished my 2 of these cute little baskets, these improv baskets. So I am going to go start on a tutorial for those right now. I have a friend coming to visit the studio this morning or this afternoon at like noon. So what is that? Not afternoon, but not morning. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna take my day and get this tutorial recorded for these baskets. I think that my pot holder, this was my finished one from my tutorial with those cute little unicorns, teacup, hearts, snails, all the things in there. So now I have a stack of pot holders to take in the house and a stack of coasters to take in the house. So, ta-da! All kinds of fun stuff. And then after today, I'll have some baskets to take in the house. So I'm gonna go do that tutorial this morning, have some coffee with a friend here at the studio, and then we'll see. I think I'm gonna set aside some painting time for this afternoon because I think that's gonna be the next tutorial. So yeah, no real exciting bird news. I think Sterence was there a little bit, but we're thinking I talked to Tom and he's like, oh, the bird probably has a nest nearby, and there's a big cedar tree outside our bedroom that has all kinds of bird life in it. And then we have a well house that's very strange looking, but we saw some bird activity in there too. So um, Tom seemed to think that its mating season, and Sterence sees his reflection in the window and is pecking at it. So that would be better than him trying to get in the house like the birds, the Alfred Hitchcock, the birds. So all right, that's all I have to say this morning. I'll take you with me. We'll get a tutorial done. We'll get some painting done. And yeah, let's have a creative day. Good morning. It is actually Saturday, May 2nd. I missed yesterday again. I was grumpy. It was a grumpy day and I had a meeting and yeah, grumpy. It's all good. I got a little bit of embroidery stuff done in the house last night, but most of the day was just a grumpy day. So here I am. I thought I'd just wrap up for the week. Tom's going to be here in a few minutes. We're going to record our 7th podcast. And I just wanted to say I did get the recording done for my little baskets. I put my quilt basting pins in that one. And then here's the other ones for the week. I just think these are so cute. Really pleased with them. So I'm thinking we'll probably get this tutorial put together maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow, hopefully up this weekend. We'll see. Tomorrow is, I know I've already said, but tomorrow is my oldest son, Presley's 15th birthday. Crazy. So we're going to do fun stuff all day with him tomorrow, but I might be able to sneak out here a little bit. So, cause he likes to play screens. So that's fun for him. So I might get an hour. Otherwise, yeah, it's been, I think maybe I didn't allow for how much energy it took to do 2 full tutorials this week, and maybe that's part of the grumpiness. I don't know. Anyway, I will say I didn't have too much bird activity yesterday, but Sterrence was going crazy in the house this morning. He was like flapping at the window and flying around, and then Mr. Danger kept going over and standing in the window, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not taking a picture of the bird. Apparently, I'm going to take a picture of the grumpy old man standing in the window trying to scare the birds away. So that was funny, but I didn't do it. So, yeah, it's been a good week. I've gotten these couple tutorials done, and so I'm just kind of figuring out next steps and what I want to do next, and life. And yeah, I hope you guys got some time to be creative this week, and let me know what you're making in the comments. And do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. Still feeling a little bit off, I think, today. Just like my head can't quite get in the right place. So hopefully I'll get back on and feel a little less crazy in my own head next week. So yeah, all the things. I appreciate if you like, subscribe, share, comment. I love the comments that are coming in and show me what we're working on, and I don't know, all the things. RebeccaDanger.com. I added the Wicked Chickens patterns on there this week. And my Art is My Voice podcast on all the podcast services and YouTube, and Rebecca Danger on Instagram. I don't know. You probably know these things. So I'll say bye for now, and I'll see you next week.